I'm gonna start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Now, with the case of a former K-pop idol Wei from a Korean pop saying that there are stricter standards and more limitations for female idols than males, and the incident involving girl group Lovelyz and AOA and the Tiffany Young of girls' generations highlight that K-pop for females are treated harsher than males, ladies and gentlemen. We think, as the feminists, we are still going to aggressively keep opposing the idea of the K-pop itself, ladies and gentlemen. But before we jumping into my argument, there are 3 layers of opening first. First thing first is what happens in the first half of the debate, and the second is what is lacking in the opening government, and the third is what is wrong with the OO. First thing first, what happened in the first half of the debate? Ladies and gentlemen, OG in this case is really out of context because they are only want to focus on the beauty standards, and they forget that the fact that there are more things than the beauty side itself, ladies and gentlemen. And secondly, we think that OG talk only about the economic benefits inside the industry itself, why they did not focus on the feminism culture in the Korea itself, ladies and gentlemen. Also, they forget to bring and to contextualize that feminism has been there for so long to begin with. Not move to that, we are as a CG believe that OG also did not characterize that there are 2 groups of fans. First, there are who likes K-pop and they don't want to be the K-pop. And the second, they don't like the K-pop but they want to be like them, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And then for the OO, on the other hand, was trying to be an evil in this debate, ladies and gentlemen, because simply they want to say that it is okay for the Korean woman to work as a K-pop singer and to fulfill society needs and forget that there are many rights of the woman that need to be protected, ladies and gentlemen. If OO say that the K-pop can encourage people from African and American or other countries in the world, this is like will be too delusional, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because in the status quo, there is no thing such as African girl band or American girl band, ladies and gentlemen, because they exactly know that the beauty standards in the world has been transformed in a certain way where beautiful is identically with the white, thin, and so on and so forth. As the Miss Universe in 2019, Zosie Binitunzi said that the women in black are never considered they are beautiful. So we think that this issue just make it and the insecurity gets bigger, but day by day the equality will never be achieved, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to brings 2 layers of argument. First is why we need to aggressively oppose the K-pop industry as the feminism and as the feminist, and the second is how inequality are represented in the K-pop itself, ladies and gentlemen. First thing first, I'm going to talk with my first argument, why we need to aggressively oppose the K-pop industry as the feminist, ladies and gentlemen. As we consider that the OG only focus highlights its beauty standards, here we bring deeper about the unity through gender equality and also the feminist culture in the social circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to know that the Korea has still ranked as the worst nations in the world for gender equality, ladies and gentlemen. Many of people in Korea still believe that the woman should be a feminine and men should be a masculine, but they don't consider that the gender is not about the woman have the feminine, but woman also can be a masculine person, ladies and gentlemen. And then the K-pop appear by showing feminine women and masculine men, but we clearly realize that not all have those kind of type, as I said before, ladies and gentlemen. For examples, the idol K-pop is actually doesn't have the authority to show their own identity through gender because they have to obey what the company's demand, ladies and gentlemen. It's proof that it's proof by the similar setting character in the K-pop itself that is maintain their popularity. Even if they want to show their true identity, they must have enough power before they stand independently, ladies and gentlemen. And now I'm going to the feminist culture still being as the opposed side in the social circumstances in Korea, ladies and gentlemen. That is the fact that we have to consider before we talk about the feminist itself in Korea and also K-pop, ladies and gentlemen. In Korea, women should stand for their ancient patriarchal culture, ladies and gentlemen. They have to manage their family, but in the other hand, they have to contribute their time to the social circumstances. And traditionally, there's an inequality between men and also women in Korea. And also, and also women based on their culture are the marginalized people, ladies and gentlemen. Even in the professional work, women are accepted well with the certain condition. For example, they have to be attractive and also have a good appearance. And also, while men doesn't have those kind of requirements to enter the workplace, ladies and gentlemen. Next, I'm going to go with my second argument: how inequalities are represented in the K-pop itself. The inclinations of fans' behavior are unequal. Why? Let's check the fact about the large number of fans in the K-pop itself, ladies and gentlemen. First, that the female are the major fans of the K-pop. We have to notice about that. And what makes it unequal is their behavior towards male and a female idol. There's a different behavior, there's a different reaction, ladies and gentlemen. For examples, when there's a case, a male K-pop idol expresses his appearance, such as take off his clothes or even make a mistake, it is just reacted ordinarily by the fans, ladies and gentlemen. This is quite different. They will only, they're sometimes considered as just joke or even funny things happen. But this would be different if those done by the female idol, ladies and gentlemen. Examples, if there's a female idol showing their pride, such as showing their body goals or even any kind of like that, it will be reacted negatively by the fans, ladies and gentlemen, or even doing hate speech towards the idol, or the female idol, ladies and gentlemen. By those cases, there is inequality actually that happened through the fans of the K-pop actually, ladies and gentlemen. Our goals as the feminists are empowering and proud to teach other, are proud to each other, ladies and gentlemen. Not opponently becomes kind of blur because of the K-pop, ladies and gentlemen. And the next, the most agencies requirements are based on the Korean's traditional standard, ladies and gentlemen. Panels, remember that those idols are at the end of the day work for the agency, ladies and gentlemen, which is they're not become themselves. They're designed based on the demand, ladies and gentlemen. And remember that the people, especially women, have different character, but because of the existing different character, so they cannot be as themselves. While we as the feminists, we believe that we can express whatever you want to be as the feminist person, ladies and gentlemen. That is the reason why we totally regret about the existing of the K-pop itself. And then last but not least, it's about the objectifications of the woman. We have to remember that to be a K-pop idol isn't always easy as we think, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of hidden secret behind it, such as sexual abusing. This is commonly happen in the dark side of the K-pop's recruitment, ladies and gentlemen. This is because there's unprofessional requirements from the private desire. So we, as a closing government, we proudly propose. Thank you. Panas. Okay.
I will start my speech in 1, 2, and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, OG can only win if they bring the first one is a background of feminist movement in Korea, and also the second one is the inequality represented in K-pop industry. But ladies and gentlemen, OG only waste their time and energy to talk around about a beauty standard in K-pop industry that we believe feminist agenda is more than that. Our goal is to achieve equality in any kind of forms, right? And this is more than only beauty standard issue, because we also have a gender equality and also double standard and also abuse within the industry itself. And it's only found, you will be only found in our side of the house. And also for all rich element, there is no need to give them any credit, since in their bench they want to promote and encourage people to make more K-pop, even make like African K-pop that we think is such nonsense and delusional. And also we think it will be one of the way for them to keep support the inequality in this world, and it's totally not good. So moreover, OO only brings a one-side argument where they want to perpetuate the action of the exploiting women to work, because they said that the existence of K-pop is only adding the nuance in the K-pop music industry. We clearly think that they want to say it is okay to for women to work and to work more, and they forget that in status quo in Korea itself, women are given limited time to work. And comparatively, CO is only going to say that the idea of nurturing the beauty of the woman should be celebrated in many ways, and it clearly adds the idea that it is okay to have a default beauty standard, and we think that it is going to be bad since it's just limiting the various type of a beauty in the world. Move to more to that, we clearly think that it is just emphasizing that inequality will be bigger and bigger day by day, or it will be my moments like in dangers, right? And also, first thing first, I really want to emphasize the inequality issues that already brought by my member, because the double standard in K-pop itself is so massive and toxic. Why we said so? First, the female idol and also the male idol itself treated very differently. Female idols apparently treat more strictly and inhuman. For example, they should have a certain image to present to public. So in order to achieve that, they should maintain their weight under 50, for example. They should have a cutie pie image. They should have an innocent vibe, etc., etc. Meanwhile, the male idol not being forced at all to begin with to do all of that. This is basically very opposite from the agenda that feminist movement want to achieve at the end of the day, right? Also, not only company or agency that treat women badly, but also the fan itself, right? Here, ladies and gentlemen, when the male idol face the case, for instance, drugs or insult or sexual harassment, etc., the fans, we're not only talking about the extreme fans here, but also like the casual fans. They happen to protect and defend their male idol aggressively. They happen not only like oppress the company or agency to make official statement, but also like make hashtag movement to flood a social media with a message or narrative like their idol not doing anything wrong, etc. But it's a whole different story when we talk about a female idol. However, even when it's only about a small case like juvenile delinquency from their high school that happened many years long ago, and brought by anonymous poster on internet, it's enough to make fans backfire to dislike and hate them so badly. And also, or when a male idol raped their shirt on the stage in order to express how they work so hard to have their muscular body or whatsoever. But when it comes to women, the society mock them for act like that, since it's not appropriate for women to do that. But the point of show their body or the message of, like rape their shirt is the same, like to love yourself or to have a positive body image or to work so hard or to stay healthy, right? Thus, all of these kinds of mistreatment toward women only create a high pressure to them, and that's also the reason of the increases of the number of depression and also suicidal action on the K-pop industry, especially for women. And also, I think it's also necessary to highlight what my member already said, that feminist culture has not been strong enough in society's mind in Korean. Like even each other women can drag each other women down. Furthermore, when someone, especially women K-pop idols, show their support or concern about feminists, like what happened when some female idols capture Rat, Kim Ji-young, born 1982. This is one of an atypical novel portrayed patriarchy and also the sexism that happened in Korean society, or simply have the phone case or phone sticker with a feminist narrative like girls can do anything. They face a criticism for only seemingly feminist behavior, and they are being called out for even such a subtly action. So, can you see how deep is patriarchal culture on society in Korea itself, moreover, toward the idol itself, right? Also, my member mentioned about the hashtag #MeToo movement, that issues back then when the industry of the K-pop is so toxic. And so dirty to use a woman as an object of a sexual, just for some people or individual benefit, right? So they basically sell the want to be idol, or what we call trainee, even idol to satisfy their biological needs, like the manager or the the director or the producer and so on and so forth. Now, you still want to consume whatever K-pop industry offered to you, and like, you know, when you know this dirty practice happened behind the scene. So I think it's just like when people cook for yourself, like to cook your food in such an unhygiene kitchen, and you still willingly to eat that dish. And I think it's so gross. After all the things that my member and also me, myself already bring to you, and I believe that deserve more credit from judges than OG, because we show you a deeper explanation and also a deeper analysis to you, and thank you. And we are proud to oppose. We are proud to propose. Thank you.